Good afternoon. It's Ryan Speltz, your kick butt mortgage guy. And today we're going to break down some of Dave Ramsey's top 20 simple tips to be able to start saving money inside your budget. And we've done this video before, but we're going to go ahead and roll through it again because I'm pretty sure Facebook had taken that down with my previous profile. So we are going to get it started with number one, saying goodbye to debt. Obviously, this is something that is ideal, right? Like we all want to get rid of our all of our debt and be able to only pay bills towards things that we're not paying for from the past. But obviously, this isn't realistic for everyone, right? So we've got to create some different ways to pay down that debt or to cut money out of our monthly budget to pay down that debt. So number one is a Dave Ramsey special of get rid of all of your debt. Number two is cutting down on groceries. I don't know about you, but I always throw food away. Like, it doesn't matter how much I buy. Somehow there is half the damn lettuce that gets thrown out, and there's nothing that I can really do about it. Except eat more, right? Like you always end up eating less than what you project. So one of the ways that you can do this is go ahead and go shopping more often. So um, instead of having this big cart full of stuff that when you go to the grocery store, just go more often. So go twice a week instead of once a week. You'll start to regulate what you need for the next 3 days, which is easier to predict than what you need for the next week, because you never know when that friend's going to say, hey, do you want to come over and have dinner? I've got food, I've got steaks, I've got whatever. And you're going to go over there and you're going to eat their food, and then you're a day off. So it's just so easier way to map out your spending on your groceries and cut out some of the unnecessary spending that you're wasting. Number three is cancel automatic subscriptions and memberships. Now, this is something, everybody loves their Netflix. I just had something pop up. I signed up for a Calm app, meditation app over a year ago, and it just popped up and $35 gone, right? So I emailed them and I got, that money back, and I canceled that subscription. So if you're not using Netflix, Hulu, Stitch Fix, anything that you have on subscription, if you're not using it like you thought you were, make sure that you are getting rid of those subscriptions. So, or modifying them, right? Maybe there's another level that you can drop down in order to save a little bit of money, or you like the service enough to keep it, but you're just unsure. Maybe there's another level you can drop down to and save you some small amounts of money. Yes, meal planning is definitely a must for grocery budgeting. As I said, if you're able to go ahead and take your week and split it in half, it makes it considerably easier. Here's another one from a Facebook person. The app Truebill can help notify you of unexpected recurring expenses that you may miss or have forgotten about. That's great. We will go over another one, service like this, but that is fantastic. Truebill, maybe, if I'm sure it just links to your accounts, and then it lets you know that you've got some recurring expenses. That's a great add there. We are on number four, buy generic. This one is something that we do pretty often. I mean, we buy the Publix brand over the majority of everything, to be able to save a little bit of money on things. And you're still getting the same product, because generally, the same product is in those bags. And so you don't really have to worry about sacrificing quality so much. Number five. So this is tied to number three, right? With Netflix and Hulu, but cutting ties with cable. Obviously, cable is $100+ a month. Insanity, right? Like nobody uses $100 worth of cable per month ever. You could watch 2 hours a day of it, but you can find those channels somewhere else. So that's an option for you. YouTube TV is something that we use, and you're able to cut your cost of the monthly cable down considerably. Being able to use that money elsewhere. Number 6 is saving money automatically. I'm a big proponent of this. This is something that you can set up a new savings account and have money sent there by your employer. So before you ever see your paycheck, you can take $100, $200, whatever you can afford, take that out before you ever see your paycheck, and then do your budget based off of that part of it. So you're not using your whole paycheck, you're paying yourself first, and then you're able to utilize the rest of that paycheck to its full potential. Where were we? Number 7, spend extra income or unexpected income wisely. So if you get bonuses or you have a good month and you get some extra commission, applying that money to the right locations can help you in the future. So make a decision for yourself that your future self will thank you for. So whether that is saving it or putting it towards a credit card bill that's costing you 24% interest, which is insanity, right? That's a really, really good way to use some extra money. Pretend you don't have it. Number 8, reduce your energy costs. Turn off your lights when you leave. Don't water the grass as often. Raise up the AC when you leave. That's been something that's helped us quite a bit. Just raising up, go up to 78 or 80 when you leave, and then you can bring it back down when you get home. Number 9, unsubscribe from emails. Believe it or not, emails are one of the most purchased mediums out there. So what happens? You get 20% off at whatever store you like to go to. Let's say Kohl's. You get 20% off at Kohl's. Where do you go shopping? Kohl's. You probably buy something you probably don't need, and it just doesn't work out for you, right? You're spending more money than you need to. So what you can do is go to unroll.me or a similar service and be able to go ahead and get a lot of those subscriptions unrolled or unenrolled. So that's a really, really good way of doing that. I'm seeing in Florida sometimes this is just impossible. It's so frustrating. And are you, I don't see which one you're talking about. So if you can make another comment talking about which number you were talking about there, that'll help. Borrow, don't buy. And this does not mean borrow money. This means borrow items. So if you need a hammer and you don't have one, go ask your neighbor. Those items can add up, referring to the light bill. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's difficult in Florida. There's, it's expensive to have utilities, and you've just got to cut out things every way you can. Sometimes, even making an investment in insulation in your home can help. I know that's, can be a big price tag up front, but it can save you a ton of money over time. It's just another thing that you can add. Putting plastic wrap over your windows so the heat isn't coming in. These are things that if you're trying to get extreme about cutting on the utilities, this is something that can help a lot. Back to borrow, don't buy. So as I was saying with that, share things with your neighbors, right? Be able to get a job done without having to go buy tools. So a lot of do-it-yourself items, you can save a ton of money by not paying a professional to do them. Electrical, putting in a light socket, those kind of things. You can learn how to do them and do them yourself, but the tools is where it gets expensive. So make sure that you're mapping that out too with a job, and make sure that you're saving some money in that regard as well. Number 11, pack a lunch and eat at home. This is one that we've probably been preached to death by a lot of people, but it is something that can save you a ton of money. And then we go back to the grocery shopping, and if you're doing that grocery shopping just one time a week for your work and one time for your home, that can be helpful, just as another way to do that. And going out to lunch in restaurants are expensive, so you have to make sure that that's something that you're paying attention to, because it adds up really quickly between just going out to eat and then tipping and all of that stuff. It can add up really, really quickly and cut into your monthly budget considerably. Number 12, asking about discounts. If you are a veteran, military discounts. I know many places give 10% off for being a military member. And if they don't, and you bring up that you're a veteran and ask if they do military discount and you talk to the manager, I bet you'll get 10% off. There's just the respect for veterans out there is high. And, it's just something that can be discounted pretty easily for you. I know most people at the register are afraid to ask for a discount. But if you're nice to the person, if you're nice to the cashier and you talk to them like they're a human being and you treat them well, you can really get some nice discounts in on things that you normally wouldn't get. And then AAA, student discounts, teacher discounts, senior discounts, all of those things come into play. So, those are things that, if you're providing service for some of the people in the community, many times you can get a discount just by asking for it. Taking advantage of your retirement savings plan. So if you have a 401k option at work, these are things that can help you save aggressively because of the employer match. The other side of that is if you're trying to save for a down payment, sometimes you can adjust your depositing into those accounts. So if you're trying to save for a down payment, this is one of the places where you can get a bunch more money out of your paycheck, which will help you save for the down payment. So instead of putting 6% into your 401k, let's back it off and only put 1 or 2% in it until you save enough money for your down payment. That way, it's still your money. Your check is getting bigger without having to get paid more, and you're able to save some of that money towards your down payment. Number 14 is lower your cell phone bill. These are things that you just need to analyze your bill and your usage rates and see, do you really need the unlimited? Is the unlimited the cheapest option? Do you need some of those options? Do you need the newest phone? All of these things can come into play and they can save you a bunch of money every month. I mean, I can consider my phone costs, 40 or 50 bucks a month plus the cost of the plan. Maybe if we went in and analyzed it, I know I need unlimited. It's what my job requires, right? But that being said, maybe I don't need the newest phone. But those are just different things you can cut back on to save some money and turn that phone back in and maybe get a free phone with an older issue of your phone. These are things that can all save you a little bit of money. Try a spending freeze. This is a very, very interesting one. And I think it can really open your eyes to what you spend your money on. So literally try to not spend any money on anything that's not a necessity for a month. It's something that will open your eyes to how much money you actually waste. And when you have, $400 or $500 in the account left over at the end of the month and you go, where does that money go to? It's such an easy way to beef up your savings by just cutting back on those non-necessities. Do it yourself, everything. We just finished up our patio in the back and I poured all of the concrete myself. Now, time-wise, this is a big spend, right? It cost me a lot of time, cost me a lot of effort, and not everybody has the skills to do it. That being said, that project alone saved us over $1,000 in labor. We did get a quote on it, and that's what it would have cost. So I was able to, spend 15, 20 hours just pouring concrete out in the yard and making the patio, the patio blocks themselves, and it looks great, and it saved us $1,000. Skipping the coffee shop, the donut house, the gas station, etc. So $5 a day is more than $1,600 a year. So if you can cut out $5 of spending every day, I mean, that money will start to add up. And the longer you can do this, the more it adds up. And so, doing one of these things on this list is probably not going to get you to where you want to be. But if you're combining multiple, you may be able to get more than what you're thinking that you can actually get in savings. The library is your friend. Again, borrow, don't buy. Go to the library, read. It's better than cable. So you're cutting your cable, maybe you start reading more. And then when you start reading more, go to the library. These are all things that can, it just saves you a little bit of money. Trying a staycation, because we all need the mental break, right? I just made a post today about being a little bit burned out. And so yesterday I kind of took a step back and just managed my time a little better. And taking a staycation, just stay at the house, relax, don't do anything for a day. You'd be surprised what mental energy can be regenerated or rejuvenated by just taking a day off. And then sell everything, in the words of Marie Kondo, that doesn't bring you joy. Go through all of your stuff. There's going to be a lot you can donate because you haven't used it in a year. A lot of clothes, I'm sure. That's where I'm at. I need to do that again and purge all that stuff out. But that's something that can just clear up space, and clearing out clutter is another thing for your mindset that will honestly change your mindset considerably just by allowing yourself to get rid of things that you don't really need. So that was the list. I didn't make the list, but I did read it. That is Dave Ramsey's top 20 tips for saving money. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'm always available, so shoot me a message if you need anything. I am Ryan Speltz, the Kick Butt Mortgage Guy, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a good